Hey guys and welcome. Wow, I was a bit delayed on that. Hey guys and welcome to yet another speed build. Happy Tuesday if you're on Patreon, and Sunday if you are a regular YouTube viewer. Welcome. This is the next build of Build Month. This one has been, let me say this, a long time in the making. When I say a long time, I mean a real long time. This was teased, I think, on my YouTube, what's it called? Community tab, that's the one. Wow, brain's functioning well today. On my community tab, maybe 2 months ago, I had nearly finished this. I had 2 rooms left to do of this entire build, and then I had another project come up and I had to switch to something else, and this kind of got left. And then we had the patch, which has been like a month now, and all the CC windows and doors broke. But Felix updated all of his windows and doors manually, so I am once at peace with the world. The plan is to manually update my windows. So the bathroom windows and doors, we had actually planned to do that already this week. But unfortunately, this month's workload has got to kind of take priority. So hopefully at the beginning of next month, we can get the bathroom updated and out. Really did think the batch fix was going to be out already, but it ain't. So we're going to do that manually. And I also have some university add-on windows that need to be updated as well, and those are a little bit more difficult because they are arched and there's loads more coordinates. So basically, when they updated it so that you can free place and stack windows, they created a different system to make the cutout. Before, this is really, really boring, but I'm going to tell you it all because we've got like 38 minutes together today, so we're just going to go full in depth. Before, you used to make cutouts for windows, you know, the area that the wall would be cut out on. You'd make it a black and white image, a PNG. You would cut out where you want the cutout to be on this image, and then the rest you would colour in black, so it knew what part of the wall to cut out. But now they do it based on coordinates. You have to tell them where the edges of the window are, so that it knows where to cut out. So you have to do like, start from the bottom left hand corner, and you do from that upwards, and then you go across, and then you go down, and you go back around again to make a complete circle. That's how you tell it. Also, if you have arches, that means you have to do like, I don't know, however many more points you need to make the curve cut out correct at the top. So yeah, I think it's a longer process to doing cutout. A cutout before was just like, hey, I gotta do a cutout. Oh, 2 seconds, done, boom. Now it's like, I gotta do a cutout. Let me think about it for like 10 minutes. You know, it's just, that's the difference. So maybe windows and doors are not my bag anymore. They weren't really to start off with. You know, like as a CC creator, you find that CC creators sometimes have their niches, and Felix's niche would be architectural pieces like windows and doors and pilasters and columns and those kind of architectural things, and that's not mine. Like Peacemaker's niche is sofas. Still waiting to find out what mine is. I think it might be kitchens, I'm not gonna lie. I do love a good kitchen. I have one in plans in my head now, so that would be my 1, 2, 3, 4th kitchen. Yeah, so maybe kitchens is my thing, but also, you know, kitchens make you want to slap yourself because you forget how much work they are, and then you start doing them and you're like, no, why did I do this? Oh, but all for the love of beautiful kitchens. I digress. Yep. I think kitchens might be my thing. Kitchens, yeah, I quite like them. But the thing is though, kitchens are very similar to each other. It takes a lot to make one look different. They're quite, they kind of look a bit similar. But anyway, I'm getting totally off topic, so let me actually tell you about this build. This build is another addition to the Rebuilding Windenburg series. I know you thought that was gone forever, but it's not. It's still very much alive and kicking. So as I said, Felix Sander did update his windows and doors, all of them. And also, on that point, decluttered. So you no longer need the extra placements, of course, because we can place stuff wherever we want now. You don't need the 3-tile placement. You only need the 2-tile placement windows and doors, or you just need one version of each window. So you will find that if you do update, you'll find that maybe there may be some windows missing when you place a build. Not on this one, but old builds you may find there may be missing windows because those windows no longer exist, but you'll see, the other placement windows, you'll just have to replace those. I think there's no easy way of doing it. Yeah, so basically half the windows don't exist anymore because they are no longer required, but that's about it. So this one, as I said, was Rebuilding Windenburg, and if you haven't watched one already, as I'm rebuilding Windenburg, I'm turning it into Bath, the city of Bath that is here in the UK. I did actually go and visit it. I was only there for maybe 24 hours. I did go and see the Roman baths while I was there. The Roman baths are interesting. We're going to call this interesting. It's like you can't go to Bath without seeing the Roman baths, and I've got to say it's a little bit anticlimactic, when you're like, ooh, what's it going to be? But I did also go and visit during COVID times, and there's also lots of extra precautions that they have, like for example, there's only a certain amount of people allowed inside because there's an inside bit. You have to do the outside bit and then you go into the inside, and the queue for going inside was forever because they're doing social distancing. So maybe it kind of dragged out the process of visiting a little bit longer than you normally probably would be there. So maybe that's affected the visiting experience, we're going to call it. But yeah, otherwise I think I would have been there for a lot shorter period of time. And I was there for long, and my feet were hurting. I sound like a 10-year-old. It's true. I've got flat feet. Look, I've got fallen arches. Just okay. I can't stand up for long periods of time. But yeah, that was the Bath experience. It was cool. It's a little bit strange. There was someone dressed up like she was going to the baths. It's a little bit weird. Also found out that it's not really that old, and it was rebuilt in the Victorian times. Rebuilt to what they thought maybe it looked like, and plus tweaked a little bit, so not quite Roman. Maybe I think the initial bottom part of the baths is maybe existing, but mostly not. So mind you, find that with a lot of points of interest, they're not really as old as you think they are. So yeah, that was my trip to Bath. Was the Roman baths. Also had afternoon tea in what's it called, the assembly rooms, that is also attached to the Roman baths. That was cool, so did that. But yeah, Bath was very cool. Also went to Bath Cathedral, and they're redoing, I think, the grounds on half of it, so it was kind of half a building site. So that was 24. Oh, and went to Wagamama's. That's the most important thing did in Bath, was go to Wagamama's. Oh, for the love of Asian fusion cuisine. So that was my trip to Bath, and of course this whole Rebuilding Windenburg started before my trip, and it was quite funny to go there, and I saw there's one in the distance. I don't know if you can see it in this. I could just see it in the top left there when I'm kind of doing this front bit, but the restaurant that I created, it's the very left corner. The restaurant that I created was based on a steakhouse in Bath, and we literally I was driving and I drove down the street and I was like, look, there's my build. It was the most strangest thing ever, just to drive down and be like, that's in my game. And the thing is though, I think before I even said this, Felix recognized the build and was like, that's one of your builds, which I think is the highest compliment that was actually recognizable. So yeah, if you do go down Bath, at the top of Milsom Street, or is it Milsom Lane? I don't know what you call it. I think it's Milsom Street, the main high street. There is a steakhouse, and that's what my restaurant was based on. It was super cool to see one of my builds in real life, and I shall just keep continuing to do them until we have finished all of Windenburg. So this one, I think I still need to find a church in Bath as inspiration. The Von Horn estate, I do already have the inspiration for that, luckily. And what else is there? I think there's the pub I need to do, but this is based on a townhouse that was in Bath. Oh yes, the whole point of this is I've only done one of the townhouses, and then there's the two others for decoration. Of course you could fully furnish that, but to reduce your lag, because maybe you actually want to play in this, I have only decorated this one townhouse, but everything else looks done. I've done all the gardens for the other ones so that they look complete, and then I've just put, like you can see now to the side, that I've just put black wallpaper and floors in everything, and I just put curtains in so they still look lived in from the outside, but there is nothing there. So yeah, they will be, you can do the other two townhouses, but I thought, so that it's not a super long video and so that you can play in it, and so there's not so many objects and causes lag, I'll just do one. That's my philosophy now when it comes to townhouses. I used to do all of them, now I just do one, because there's always one that I kind of first envisioned and would be the whole reason why I do the build, and it was this one. This one was, I think if you search, I'm sure this person's name is Ralph Allen. It's one of the founding people of Bath. The reason why all of the houses have Bath stone is because of Ralph Allen. So, and there was the townhouse was completely different to all the other townhouses in Bath, and I decided I wanted to make it because it's very pretty. And then the other two, I did more of a traditional townhouses that you'll see all over Bath. Less decorated, more simple. They are even more simple than that in real life, but in The Sims, I can't do bare corners. That's the one thing I can't do. I wish I could. But in The Sims, when you don't have any decoration on the corners, I always find the build looks a little bit unfinished sometimes. So I did put the extra block work on the corners, but you wouldn't actually really see that in Bath. I'm not gonna lie. So don't shoot me if you are from Bath or you've been to Bath and you know what they look like. You'd be like, that they don't have that detail there. I know. Okay? It's The Sims. I had to use my, I don't know, creative license. That's the one. So anyway, we're moving already onto the interior. In this one, the aim was to have a super light floors, walls, but actually have strongly coloured items in them. Now, I stuck with that while I was decorating this downstairs, but then I came back and as I said, I had to finish the build, and I kind of forgot that philosophy and went way pale. But I did go back afterwards and change it all up and make them more strongly coloured, because I think I forgot what I was aiming for. It'd been so long, maybe like 2 months in between starting and finishing, that I forgot what I was doing. Yeah. So this house does include items by Felixander. I am gonna list all of the CC. I'm now doing this kind of on Patreon. This is of course for build month, so it's early access and it won't be available till next month to download for everyone. But yeah, I started listing everything on my Patreon of what you're gonna need and links and all that stuff. So it's either gonna be on Patreon now. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do Tumblr posts for all this stuff. I really should do, because I already have the text and everything and all of the links. So yeah, I'm going to make Tumblr posts for all of this stuff as well. And yeah, so, as I was saying, Felix Sander content, predominantly the London set and also the... mainly the London set. Also the Kyoto set as well. Yeah, predominantly those two, but let's put it this way, I used a lot. The Georgian set, the London set, all will be listed as well in the Patreon post, so look out for that. The Patreon post, by the way, if I don't do a Tumblr post, I do suggest that people go and follow me on Patreon. Even if you don't want to support, you can follow me on there and you'll get alerted for things when posts go public, because I do set them to automatically go public, and I don't always find the time to make a corresponding Tumblr post, because it's double the work, isn't it? So yeah, I suggest you just follow me on Patreon. The link will be down below anyway, for my Patreon. Yeah, follow there for basically updates on when stuff goes public and when it's available, all that good stuff. But yeah, this month was build month, which it's been nice, but also I've been working on my next month's worth of CC, and I'm not going to say what it is yet. I'm going to keep it a secret. I'm just going to do like a nice little teaser image when I got a few more pieces created. So, and tomorrow, yeah, I'm recording this on this voiceover on a Monday, it's the 19th. And the trailer is out tomorrow, so I think we had fun last time when I was predicting how the patch was going to go. So this time I'm gonna, because it's the into the future. I like doing these predictions into the future when I actually have no clue, and by the time you watch this you do know. So my prediction for the trailer is that I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a pack that we actually all want. I'm going to have faith. I had faith in the skin tones. They didn't turn out so well, but I think it's a half-finished job. But they tried to pass it off as a fully finished job, which they shouldn't have done. They should have just been honest and been like, hey, we couldn't actually fix everything like we said we're going to. It's like an improvement, but it's not all the way there. That's what I would have liked, but we didn't quite get that. They seem to detail a lot about how they've improved it, but didn't really tell us that it wasn't actually the finished article. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the patch that comes out in November is going to fix all the rest of the skin tones. That's all I'm going to say on it. Fingers crossed. But yeah. My prediction for the trailer is that it's going to be good. I'm hoping my hope is anything but American. I'm sorry, American guys, you are predominantly the people that watch my videos, but I think someone said in my last video, even the Americans don't want an American world. So I'm okay with saying this. But yeah, anything but American, and I'll be happy. Very, very happy. So yeah, by the time you're watching this, you already know, and you're like, yeah, you were useless and you totally didn't predict it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've got to say, I think I'm not the only one that has been craving more content. Oh, while I'm here as well, this was the first build I actually used my halcyon kitchen in. I used it in the ruins video that I showed you, but here it is again in a lighter swatch. I think I used it in a darker swatch in my ruins build, but here it is in the lighter swatch, and that is available for all. It comes with appliances. I didn't use them in this. This is before I'd even created the appliances that this thing was originally built. But yeah, as I said, I think my thing may be kitchens. I'm not going to want to say that again. Don't quote me on it. Just forget I said it. I don't have a thing yet, okay? I'm just still learning. I don't have a thing. No. Yeah. Did I really leave that? I was going to say, did I leave that painting? That's awful. But anyway, how has everyone been? It's been a busy month of builds and CC and more for more of that to finish the month. I also have a community lot to do next, and I'm not looking forward to it. You know, when you have that initial idea of you want to do something, and then you're like, yeah, this could be great, and then you have to do it, and you're like, what was I thinking? Actually, that reminds me of doing kitchens as well. Apparently that is my niche, having good ideas to start off with and then not wanting to do them. I don't think I'm the only one that does that. You're like, this is a great idea, and then you start doing it, you're like, this is an awful idea, this is awful, it's awful. But anyway, we have moved on to I'm going to call this the kind of study / I'm going to call this the library. Actually, it ends up being another sitting room, but I'm going to call it a library. It has these modern, I wanted to mix in the modern with the traditional in here. That's my favourite way to furnish a place. I hope I didn't put that sofa too close to the fireplace and that it lights on fire. I have a feeling maybe I did. So if maybe you want to put in an extra smoke detector in here. I don't know if I remember one for the kitchen. That's the one thing I always forget to do, is put in a smoke detector into my builds, because I don't know, my Sims just never seem to light fires like that. Mind you, I was playtesting a build the other day and it had a barbecue. I went to go and light it to playtest it, and my Sim self caught on fire, and I was like, It's only when I'm playtesting that things catch on fire. During normal gameplay, not that I do that anymore. I've not experienced that. Maybe because I always make my Sims creative. Do you always have like a trait that you always give your Sims? I always give my Sims the creativity trait. I need to change it up and maybe like randomize my trait selection for next time. But yeah, I normally give them creative, which means they probably are maybe a little bit more talented when it comes to the food department. Either that, I give them creative or foodie, so they don't have any issues with cooking, and then they don't start fires, and then we're all good. So yeah, this one in here, we're mixing together in-game items, CC, and I think this is this my favourite room in the house? I think it is. You'll see me putting on walls here at the end, and they're going to be the London wallpapers, and I could lick them. You know, when there's something that good that you're just like, oh. Those are one of my favourite wallpapers of all time. It's probably my favourite. Yeah, they are. Let's just give them. They're my favourite wallpapers, and I try not to use them in every build, but it's very, very difficult. Anyway, up here we're kind of going for an eclectic mix of things. I said like traditional and new, but also eclectic in the styles. So we have like Japanese influence things. We have influences from all over the world, is what I'm going to say. Yeah, I think that's more of an accurate thing. And I'm changing in the wallpaper so that it just looked like it was the kind of block work from the house that we'd exposed and painted, and putting the shutters in. I love shutters. Is there anything I don't love? Yeah, I love shutters. And I've used shutters throughout this build instead of curtains, which is cute. But I do actually end up putting curtains here in the master bedroom as an accent wall. And those are the curtains from the bathroom. That's kind of one of my fave go-to moves, you know? When I want to lay those moves on you, I just put curtains along a wall, because I quite like it. It's kind of an accent wall and a feature wall, but without being too in your face. So it's kind of subtle, but it makes the room look a little bit more finished. The pieces in here, the bed and everything's from Felix Sanders' Colonial set, and another one of my faves. And as I said, we're kind of going for the all around the world vibe, which means that we use a few items, tiny twavelers as well, the chair there and the bedside table, some tiny twavelers. And yeah, I'm a little bit, I said the library was the favourite room in the house, but I don't know. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe the bedroom is. Not too sure. But yeah, so just going through, adding in more clutter items. And of course, like all of my builds, this has a sick master suite because, look, life is for living. Everyone must have a nice master suite. I have never been in a house that has a master suite like this. Not even like holiday rentals. No. Maybe one day. But I love a good master suite in my builds. This build, though, actually has more than one bedroom. I know, it's becoming a habit, some may say. But this has 3 bedrooms. It has this master bedroom, which is on the 2nd floor. Yeah, it's on the 2nd floor. So ground floor is the living room and kitchen, dining. Then the next floor up, the 1st floor, is the library, and also the kids' bedroom is on that as well. Yes, spoiler alert, there is a kids' bedroom. And then we're on the next level up, which is the 2nd floor, and we have the master suite on this entire floor. And then you get a ladder outside of the entrance to this. There's a ladder going up, which, what did we do without ladders in the game before? I don't know, cry ourselves to sleep. This house was not possible without the ladder, so I'm so happy we have them in. It would have been cute if it was a spiral staircase, I'm not gonna lie. I can make these demands now that we have the advanced stairs and we have ladders. Now I can be like, yeah, I want spiral staircase, because they look a little bit cuter than a ladder. Also, I would presume that maybe a kid can walk up a spiral staircase, whereas a toddler, I say kid, no, a toddler can't go up a ladder, but they probably could go up a spiral staircase. Staircase. So yeah, we've used the ladder to go up into the attic, into the loft, and we've built out there. And I'm envisioning that they have one child, but they also maybe have a nanny / au pair living with them. Like, I think they're bougie enough to have that as a thing. Alternatively, you could just have your butler up there, you know, because butlers make good au pairs in the game. So yeah, there is a full like self-enclosed suite up there, apart from they will have to share the bathroom a couple floors down. So they have their own like sitting area, dining area, kitchen, sleeping area, but they do have to come down to use the bathroom because there just wasn't enough space to make another room up there. But also, your butler or au pair, or you could just use this as a teenager's room, to be quite honest, if you wanted to, has the craziest view because they have a rooftop terrace out there. And look, there's got to be some perks for working for this family, and that is one of the very heavy perks, is an awesome view out there out of the terrace. But you'll see that coming along. That's like the last room that we do in this build, so you're gonna have to wait till the very end to see it. Yeah, we're doing the master bathroom. Yeah, we are. And predominantly I've used in there some of my own recolors. I did a long time ago. I think it's like maybe, was it 2019 or was it? I'm not too sure. I did the Heritage collection where I recolored some of the items that came with cats and dogs, and also base game items to make them slightly more versatile. The traditional stuff is actually nice that they added in with base game, but the colours pretty awful. I think that's the conclusion for most things in the game, that the colours are pretty bad, but the meshing is great. And now the textures are great as well. Before, like base game, you know, I didn't really know exactly what their style was, so the textures are not the greatest, but now they're chef kiss to the textures that are now in the game. So I really can't wait for this trailer to drop, and I would want there to be like some positivity in the Sims community. I want it to be like a positive experience, because as much as we all like a bit of drama in our lives, sometimes it's just a little bit too much. And the Star Wars drama was quite a lot, and that was quite draining. I tend not to look too much on Twitter at times like that because it's just like toxic AF. I get that people are upset and we all love this game, but some people take it a little bit far when it comes to being outraged. After all, sometimes you need to take a step back and say, this is a computer game. It's okay. It is not life or death. This is a computer game. Just to give yourself a little bit more perspective so that you don't get too outraged and too angry and too ooh. But yeah, me and you, we were both annoyed at Star Wars, and you know, so we need a good one. We can't have two awful ones in a row. I don't think anything has got such a bad reaction as Star Wars did. So yeah, fingers crossed. I'm predicting it's going to be an expansion pack that everyone wants. It's not going to be better babies or cars or farming though. So yeah, fingers crossed. But anyway, we're on to the last part of the house, which is here, the little, I told you, self-contained little au pairs / butler annex thingy. Yeah, kind of reminds me now of I was watching Freezer Bunny's video of the Parisian apartment, and he did one in the loft, and it was inspired by Emily in Paris, which is also something that I've watched. I didn't tell him this, have not mentioned this to him, so Leo, if you're watching now, yeah, I too did watch Emily in Paris. Have you guys watched Emily in Paris? I've watched it several times, I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit of it's awful, but it's also good, but it's awful, you know? Would I recommend it to others? No. So unless you've fallen into the trap, I don't recommend it, because it's pretty bad acting and really unrealistic. Apparently the main character, who is played by Lily Collins, she revealed the other day that her character is meant to be 22 and just out of college. I'm sorry, but no one that has just graduated gets the opportunity to go and have an amazing job in an amazing apartment at 22 instead of their boss. Because, you know, like, it's like her boss can't, this isn't much of a spoiler because it's the first episode, her boss can't take a job in Paris because she gets up the duff. So she goes instead. Now, let's just say there's always going to be many, many people that work between the top boss and the fresh out of college person. Like, are you telling me there was no one else higher up than her that would have taken this role and was closer to the level of her boss? I don't think you go straight from boss to, hey, let's send the newly graduated person. So that aside, yeah, it was just unrealistic. Also, she had way too much money to spend on clothes apparently, and also, I don't know who did the costume. I feel like they were going for a Sex and the City vibe, like, you know, Carrie Bradshaw. She was cutting edge when it came to fashion. She always mixed and matched stuff together. It was, you know, went to the sound of her own beat. Went to the sound beat of her own drum. Is that the one? Something like that. You know what I mean. The fashion was always not your typical what you would see someone wearing, but was like fashionable and well put together. This one, it's like, what brands can we throw on this girl and make it that she likes fashion and that maybe she works in fashion now? Whoever did the costume design, I'm sorry. It was not very nice and awful. Also, she has a friend in it that is Chinese, and the stuff that they put her in as well is it's not a hot look. It's no. Yeah, it's not classy. They're in Paris and they're not classy. And I'm like, that's a very difficult thing to do, be in Paris and not be classy. So yeah, just no to the costumes. The French people, very cute. They dressed them appropriately. So I think they kind of just the Chinese friend as more American. Yeah, so just noted that. So would I watch the second season? Probably, yeah, because, you know, I have a second screen. As when I'm working, I always have to have something on my second screen, keep me company, and just, yeah, keep me entertained, keep me going. I'm one of these people that have always done that. Even when I wasn't doing Sims content, I always had something else going. I used to watch Judge Judy in the corner. I had like picture in picture, and I'd have Judge Judy when I had one screen. I'd have Judge Judy there, and I'd be doing my regular work. But anyway, I've rambled on. We've got to the end of this. Screenshots. I have places build the other way round for the screenshots, because for some reason in The Sims, all of the good light's on the back of the house, and I wanted the good light on the front of the house. Come on, people. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.